Today the topic is adverbs. Adverbs can modify verbs, adjectives, or other adverbs. Here you can see on the board examples. Can we go now? The word now modifies go, telling when we're going to go. Let's go quickly, and quickly modifies go, telling how we're going to go. Adverbs, when they modify verbs, can tell how and when, where, and why. Adjectives can be modified by adverbs as well. Like in this sentence, the room was oddly quiet. Okay, so the word oddly gives more color and flavor to the word quiet. Not just quiet, you know, some rooms you expect to be quiet, but if I walk into a classroom full of students, and if it's quiet, then that's a little strange. So that would be oddly quiet. Other adverbs, okay, also can be modified by adverbs. Adverbs can modify adverbs, let's say that. We are almost home. Now in this sentence, the word home is an adverb because it tells where. I know that because we have subject, linking verb, and home does not describe we, it does not rename we, and so it must go with the verb. It tells where we are. And then the word almost tells kind of like to what extent we are home. That means that we're not exactly at home yet. We are almost home. So that modifies the word, changing the meaning from saying we are home to something a little different. Modifies it. Some words can be used as adjectives or adverbs. Now this word home can be used, of course, as a noun. My home is Honduras. But here it's used as an adverb. Now we have some words that can be used as adjectives or adverbs. One example is the word daily. Many times people see the words that end in ly and think, oh, it's an adverb because it ends in ly. But not always. In the first sentence, yes, I journal daily. Daily tells when I journal, or more specifically, it tells how often I journal. And that is an adverb. But in the second sentence, this is the daily report. Daily tells which report we're talking about. It's not telling when or how often, it's telling which report. So in that sentence, it's used as an adjective. As I've said before, I believe, and I will say it again just in case I haven't said it before, you know what kind of word something is by what it does in a sentence. Here it tells where, so it's an adverb. Here it tells how often, so it's an adverb. Here it tells which one, so it's an adjective. Some words can be changed from adjectives to adverbs, like gentle can become gently, and that's where we get that ly thing. The general method for changing an adjective to an adverb is by putting that ly suffix on there. Gentle, you could say, the gentle father held his baby, okay? Or the father was gentle when he held his baby. And gently would be the adverb form, and it would modify how something is done. So he gently carried the baby to the crib. So that's how he carried the baby to the crib. There are some that are often confused. So, and two of those words are real/really and bad/badly. These first two sentences are wrong. This car runs real good, and I feel badly about that. The problem with these sentences is that you're using, in the first sentence you're using an let's see. Okay. The word good is an adjective, right? But it's being used in the place of an adverb. And the word real is an adjective, but it's being used in the place of an adverb. It's a little confusing. Both of these words should be adverbs instead of adjectives. This car runs really well. Real becomes really because we need it to be an adverb to modify this. And good becomes well because good doesn't tell how something is done. Good describes a noun. So this car runs really well is the correct way to say that. I feel badly about that. Badly is not the right word because badly tells me how something is done. And if you say you do something badly, that means that it's the opposite of doing something well. You do something in a way that's not good, in a way that's deficient or something. And that you can't really feel something in an insufficient way. We don't judge feelings like that. What you mean to say is I feel bad. This is a linking verb, the verb feel. And what we need is a predicate adjective here. And badly is not an adjective, it's an adverb. So that's why that's wrong. I hope I haven't completely confused you. We will go over this a little bit in the meat. These particular verbs, not verbs, but adverbs, really and badly. So and to are often used incorrectly. So can be used like very. This test was so hard, and especially true here in an exclamation kind of sentence. Many students overuse the word so. You can go through someone's essay and mark how many times the word so is used. Some people might use the word so 10 times in an essay. Don't do that. Sometimes so works with that in this way. It was so hard that I almost gave up. Okay? It was so hot outside that I could fry an egg on the sidewalk. And so the word though, so, and that kind of can work together in that way. But actually the word that is optional here. You could say to, it was so hard that I almost gave up, or it was so hard I almost gave up without the word that. Let's see. So can be used in positive or negative situations. Okay? So I am so happy for you. Or he was so tired he fell down. Negative. But to is only for negative situations. For example, it's not right to say I was too happy, because what you really are trying to say is I was so happy or I was very happy. But the word to means, when you say I was too happy, it means that you were excessively happy. You were more happy than you should have been. So we should use the word to for negative situations. Like, these shoes are too small. Okay, that's negative. That's fine. Also, I wrote here intensifier. There's a special kind of adverb called an intensifier. The word so here is an intensifier. The word very that I circled here is an intensifier. And it means that you're making the meaning of that adjective or adverb more extreme. You could say, I'm happy for you, for instance. You don't need the word so, but the word so makes it an extreme version of happy. Okay? You could also say, I feel so bad about that. Okay? Let's see. Sometimes to works with the other to, For instance, my suitcase was too heavy to carry. You could also say, my suitcase was too heavy for me to carry. Yeah. Oh, I like your hair, but it's too curly for me. That means that I like your hair, but in a negative way, it wouldn't work on me. It's too curly for me. Let's see. Comparatives. Longer, more available, better, worse, more fun. Those are comparatives. We've talked about comparatives before. I mean, I should say you've talked about them before with other English teachers or grammar teachers. That's when you're comparing two things or two actions. This play lasted longer than the other play. Your hair is longer than my hair. That's the most common way with short adjectives or adverbs, we just add the suffix er. With longer ones, probably any one longer than 5 letters, we would use the word more with it instead of using the suffix er. So like more available, okay, more beautiful, more understandable, okay. And then we have irregular ones that have different kinds of spellings. We don't have a lot of irregular adjectives and adverbs in English, but we do have some. Better is the comparative form of good. This dinner is good. This dinner is better than last night's dinner. You could also use it as the comparative form of well. This car runs well. This car runs better. Worse is the comparative form of bad. Obviously that's irregular because there's no B, A, or D in the word worse. So I feel bad today. I feel worse than I felt yesterday. Okay. And then one weird irregular thing is that I talked about comparatives forming with the suffix er if they're short. One exception is the word fun. You don't use the word funner. There's no such word as funner. And not funnier either. Some people say, it was so funny when they're talking about their trip to the beach or something like that. But funny, remember, funny means chistoso. It doesn't mean divertido. I got off track here. More fun is the comparative form of fun. Superlatives are for when you're comparing it to everything else or everybody else, or to a larger group, okay? This was the longest video we've ever watched. Or her hair is the longest of everyone else in her class. So that's superlative with the suffix est. And I'm not using a whole lot of time and space to go over this because I think that you probably already know this. I'm just reviewing. For longer words, you use, instead of the suffix, the word most. So most attractive. She won a prize for having the most attractive poster, anybody's poster in the class or something like that. So that would be superlative. You're comparing her poster to everyone else's poster. Best is the superlative form of good. So good, better, best. Let's see. His score in the soccer game was the best. That means that it was the best of anybody's score in the soccer game. That sounds weird because it's a team sport. But anyway, you understand what I mean. Worst is the superlative form of bad. Okay, so I think you did this in your worst handwriting. So worst is, you're comparing it to all the other times when you've written something, okay? That's what superlative does. And again, with the word fun, and instead of saying funnest, you should say most fun. We had the most fun last night. More fun than we've ever had on any night. Okay? So I believe that should cover it enough for us to go into those pages and the sentences that I'm going to ask you to write confidently. More confidently than you thought, right? So very confidently. Okay, I'll shut up now. Happy writing.